Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today I have a bunch of stuff on my bead mat. So it's messy, and I have not stuck by my declaration to myself that I'm going to upload everything on my website before I make anything else. I just can't do it. It's impossible. So I did upload a few things though, so I'm proud of myself. I've been uploading a little bit every day, and I figure, yeah, I'm going to have to compromise that way. But anyway, I kind of wanted to make a boho necklace today, and I had these cool components that came off of a stretch bracelet that I had that dry rotted, and they're double strand. So I thought, okay, it'd be really cool to do a double strand over here and then merge it down with one of these. This is a chandelier ear wire to a single strand and do like a dangle. Now, Lynn, my subscriber, sent this piece to me, and I love it. I think it's so pretty. This came from the Jesse James stuff I got back a long time ago from Joann's when they had all their Jesse James stuff marked down to 99 cents. I have some bead caps here, and I'm using every color. I'm using mixed metals. Well, every color except for gunmetal. I don't have gunmetal out here. But I have bright gold, I have some Casey gold here, I've got red copper, antique gold, silver, and I'm just going to use it all. I've got some chain to do my tassel on the end here in all those different colors. Let me move the camera up a little bit if I can, because it's way too low and it's not getting everything. Okay. I'm sorry guys, let me just adjust it a little bit. See if I can get it a little higher and it'll get more of, okay, that's a little bit better. So I've got these beads, which I like because I feel like they have, I wanted to go with like a turquoise because it matches this little flower. Whoops. But I feel like these have the gold and even some kind of antique gold tones to them. And I felt like they matched really well. I've got a bunch of size 8 seed beads. So I've got these matte aqua that matches all this other stuff. These are just some mixed metals, rose gold and some different mixed metals. These are like a rainbow luster or something or other. I don't even know what they are, but they're really pretty, and I thought they looked good with all this. And these are the same aqua, just in the shiny, the not matte version. So I've got all those seed beads out here. I've got some wire guardians because when I reduce, when I reduce down here, I'm probably going to use some wire guardians on that. I've got a clamshell for the ends, and I probably need more than, why did I just get one clamshell? That doesn't make any sense. Let me grab some more. So I've got my clamshells here. I've got crimp beads right here. I have some more of these bead caps in case I need them. And then I wanted to put in some sparkle. So I've got these sparkly bicones that are like a vitriol kind of coating, maybe. I don't know. They match really well with all of this. At least I think they do. And then I've got these little sparkly rondelles right here. And I'm wanting to bring in some silver tone sparkle as well. So I'm going to have to pull out some little sparkly silver something or others out of my stash. So let me see what I have, because I need to put a little bit of silver sparkle into, ow, and I cannot get this thing open. This Harbor Freight container. Okay, there we go. Man, that was hard. Okay, so I've got these that would probably work. Little silver sparkly rondelles. Let's see if I have anything smaller. I don't think I do, so I'm probably going to go with those. And I've got some tiger tail. Here are some little 3mm bicones. I don't know, I may use those. And ooh, there's some too that are kind of a half. I don't know. I'll pull all these out and see what I decide to go with. And there's some little silver pearls. Okay. Alright, so we've got some stuff out here that we can work with. So, yeah, like I said, this is just going to be a come into the studio and bead with me video if you want to. I'm going to make a necklace, so I figured I'd invite you guys in. How's that sound? So if you're interested in making this or one like it, just get all your supplies together, whatever you think you might want. Of course, you're going to need every kind of jewelry plier, jump rings. Yeah, we'll need some head pins because I'm going to do some bead dangles, or eye pins probably would be better. So just grab up all your stuff and we'll get started. Okay, so where do I get started? Let's see. The first thing I'm going to do, I think, is this. I'm going to do this side over here. So I know I want to put these 3 components on this side, and I want some beads in between, some seed beads and some sparkly beads in between them. So I've got some tiger tail here. Now, if I was doing, well, let me think. I think I'm not going to go straight through with, see how this goes straight through here? Like this, all the way. You can go all the way through with your tiger tail. I don't really like to do that. But with these, it's pretty deep, and I don't think it would really show. I don't know. I'm always like, I never know what I want to do with that. I usually like to just end it on each little loop and start on the next loop. I don't like to go through, but I think with it being, it's pretty deep in there, it's not going to show. So I think I'm going to try to go through, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so how do I want to do it? I think I'm going to go bottom up so I can see. Well, no. This is a long piece of tiger tail, so let me cut this first of all so I don't have so much that I'm trying to string onto. I'm going to cut this piece of tiger tail. Okay. This is actually a used piece of tiger tail. It came from another necklace. Okay. So I'm going to go from the bottom up. So I'm going to pick up some seed beads in a mix. So let me dump all these out here. So here are the matte ones. Get all that out of the way. Here are the shiny ones. Here are these like rainbow luster things. And then I've got these metallics. So let's just dump all these out here so we can kind of get a mix. And I'm going to incorporate some of these as well. So let me put the sparkly rondelles here. Bicones. And then what am I going to use from here? I'm kind of liking these little silver pearls just because they're different. So I'll dump a few of those out there. Okay. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to pick up a pearl on here and I'm going to mix it all up. There's not going to be any order to the way I put this stuff on the tiger tail. I'm just going to mix it. I want it to be completely random. So as you can see, that's what I'm doing. Just mixing it. Now I do want to kind of mix, if there's a whole big string and then I need another silver, I'll go ahead and grab another silver. That I'm going to kind of watch, but for the most part, I want it just to be random. Let's do this one and this one. Now, let's look at that. So if I go up through here, that's going to be about that long, which is probably pretty good because I'm going to connect this to it right here and then this. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, so what I am going to do is I'm going to put a bead stopper on the end of this tiger tail because I know myself, and if I don't have something on there stopping it, they'll all come off. I will drop them for sure. Okay, so now I'm going to thread this guy on here, one side of him. Well, I am, I promise. Okay, so let's put one side of this on, and he has like 3 little holes that this can go through, so it's kind of hard to get it in them all, but you just have to work with it. I loved this bracelet. It was a stretch bracelet with all these metals combined, which I love mixing metals, but it came apart and I thought, well, I'm going to do something different with it. Okay, so again, between this row, I'm just going to pick up random things. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I'm just going to pick them up. Well, things that'll fit on the tiger tail, that is. And let me see, how many, well, I'm not even going to count the beads on the bottom. I'm just going to do it random. With the boho style, I love it. It does not have to be everything doesn't have to be even. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's one reason I like it so much. It's just kind of random and fun. Let's do a rose gold and one of these matte ones. Okay, so now I've got about this much in between, and I'm wanting to do 2 of these. So if I put this one here, that is not quite going to be long enough. So let me add a couple more beads on this side, on this little guy here. Whoops, and if you're not careful, you'll take your tiger tail and you'll flick it right across the bead right across the room, like I just did. Okay, so that gives it a little more room. I think I like that. And then we're going to string on this one. There's people working across the street at this lady's house. They're remodeling, our neighbor, and she's actually living in a hotel while they remodel. She's been in a hotel now for like 3 weeks, but they're over there. I can hear them yelling, so if you hear somebody yelling, that's what it is. Okay, so there we have that. I'm going to string on, again, just a random number, or a random mixture. Okay. I love these colors together. I think they're so pretty. Just all the metals and the teal, and oh, I love it. Okay, a few more. And I want to try to get this one pretty close to the same length as the one below it, this one right here, and I think that looks pretty good. So now I'm going to string on my copper one. Whoops, I better do the right side, haven't I? Okay, there we go. Yep, that's looking pretty good. And I'm just going to do some more, just again, random up the side here. And we'll see how far I need to go up, because I want it to be long enough. These are meant to wear kind of long, but I need to account for the fact that there's going to be a tassel hanging too. So I may have put these a little bit close together. If so, you're going to love it. We'll have to take it apart. But that's how it works when you're creating things. Or actually, I have some more of these. I could just put another one on. Maybe I'll do that. Let me see if I can find them. Because I hate taking things apart and restringing them. Okay, yeah, I've got 4 more, so I think I'll put another silver one on. And that'll definitely be fine for... Is that about the same? Let me put one or 2 more little beads on here. Okay, let's get this down. So here's what we've got, and let me take one off. I did one too many, I think. All right, so now we'll put the silver one on. That's better than taking it all apart and restringing it, making it longer, right? I think so. Okay, so put him on here. Sorry if my hand's in the way, but it's kind of hard to get it through there. Okay. Yeah, this is going to look really pretty. Okay. So let me string a little bit on up, and then I'm going to put a bead stopper on. Again, just random. I'm just trying to make sure as I pick up the seed beads that I pick up some of the little sparkly ones as well, because I do want this to have some sparkle on this side. Okay. So that looks pretty good for now. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put the bead stopper on here because I've got to do the other side. And that's what we have so far. Oops, and a bunch of mess on my bead mat. Okay, so let me grab my other tiger tail. And I'm just going to do the same thing on this side that I did on the first side. So I'm just going to string it, and I'm not going to string the same beads, the same amount, yes, but I'm going to make sure that I don't want them to line up and be the same. I want them to be different. So this is what I do every day now, and I'm loving it. I love being at home and being able to bead. And not really having any other responsibilities, though it sounds terrible to say that. It really, really does, and I know it does. But I've worked a job, full-time job. Well, I can't say full-time. I worked a part-time job. I started when I was 16. I worked at Ponderosa Steakhouse, which is it's just a steakhouse there in the town where I grew up. And I worked part-time, of course, because I was in school, in high school. But I worked there, and then when I was 18, I got married, and my husband and I moved to California for him to go. We both went to Bible college out there. He got his BA in theology, and I didn't graduate. I just took all the classes that interested me, like I did music classes and I don't know, just a bunch of different stuff. But when we moved out there, I worked at a home improvement store called Home Base. So if you're in California, I'm sure you know of Home Base. So I worked at Home Base at the customer service desk, and I had to be at work at like 5 o'clock in the morning, which was really hard because we were in college and you stay up late, you've got papers you're doing and all this kind of stuff. So that was hard being at work that early in the morning. And from there, after I left Home Base because of the hours, I needed a job where I didn't have to be at work so early in the morning. And so I went to PetSmart. And I worked at PetSmart just doing everything. I was a cashier. I worked in the the fish department for a while. I did stocking I loved it. It was so much fun. And I did that for several years. And then the college that we were attending hired me in their front office as a front office secretary. And I did that until we left there. So we were there for 4 years. He graduated with his BA. We moved to Reston, Virginia to help start a church. A guy from the Bible college, from the church out there at the Bible college, moved to Washington, D.C. area to start a church, and we went to help him. So my husband was the assistant pastor, and I taught Sunday school and did all kinds of stuff. But I worked then, let's see, where did I go? Did I work at the... Gosh, I've had so many jobs. So yeah, I think I started at the optometry place there. So I worked at an optometry company called Our Eyes, HoureYes, Our Eyes Optometry. And I really, really liked that job a lot. And then we had Logan. And when Logan was 5 months old, we decided that we needed to move home and be around family because we wanted him raised around his grandparents, of course. And so we moved back to West Virginia. And I got a job when we moved back to West Virginia working at Cabell Huntington Hospital as a float unit clerk. So I floated all over the hospital. They would call me and say, 5 North needs a unit clerk. Wednesday from 7 to 11. Can you do it? And I'd be like, sure. So,
You've got me.
So that was my, this is not coming out even. Why is it? That's one thing you have to make sure of, is that you get it even. And I've got too many on this side, I think, somewhere. So let me take a couple off. But anyway, I worked as a unit clerk, so I floated all over the hospital there, and I really enjoyed that. I worked, my favorite floors were the PICU, or the pediatric intensive care, pediatric, and the neonatal intensive care. Those were my favorite floors. And so I did that for a while, and then the church that we attended there in Huntington, West Virginia, called Christ Temple Church, they needed a secretary, and so I moved from Cabell Huntington Hospital to secretary there at the church, and I was secretary for two different pastors, and then they started a counseling business kind of thing, and there was a psychologist, two licensed professional counselors, and two pastoral counselors, and I managed the office. So I did all their scheduling, all the insurance billing, just everything. I loved that job. That was one of my favorite jobs I've ever had. It's probably my favorite job I've ever had. And, but we had two children at the time, and I really needed health insurance. Matt didn't have health insurance because, he was not working a job that provided it, so he was working at the church as well. So we decided that I would quit that job, and I moved to St. Mary's ER, and I worked in the ER patient registration midnights. So that was an interesting job, and I loved it. I thought it was just, there was never a dull moment. I mean, it was one of the most interesting jobs I've ever had. So I did that for a long time, and then Matt and I separated, and we ended up getting divorced, and so I needed a day shift job, and I was working midnights because I had two children. So I left that job and went to work for MCA, which is an ambulance billing company, and I worked for MCA for 7 years. Yeah, in the meantime, Chris and I got married, and so we lived in a town close to where I worked, really close, but then we found out from Chris's job that we had to move to North Carolina, so we put our house up for sale, and we moved in with his parents in Hurricane, and Hurricane is about 30 minutes, 45 minutes from MCA where I was working. And at the time, there was construction on the interstate, and it was slated to go on for a long time. They were widening lanes and doing all kinds of stuff. So I had to find a job closer to Hurricane because I was driving that every day, and I was sitting for hours in traffic, and yeah, it was ridiculous. So I quit that job and went to work for Family Care doing Medicare FQHC billing. And so I did that until we moved here to North Carolina, and that's when I got the job at MHR Designs making jewelry. So, yeah, I worked pretty much full-time my entire life, so I don't feel too bad taking a little bit of time off here. Not too bad, but, in a way I feel guilty, but in a way I'm like, oh, I really have worked a job for my whole life, and since I was 16 years old, and yeah, it's nice to be able to have a little time to myself at home, and I'm enjoying it. So that's my history of work. Not that you really cared, but since we're sitting here beating, I figured I would tell you. Okay, so here's what we've got, and it's pretty even, and I think it's coming out really pretty. So this is going to be the one side, so I'm going to set this aside now, and we're going to work on the other side because I need to be able, before I connect anything to the connector, I need to make sure that they're even. So let me separate out these seed beads a little bit because I made a big mess, and I do need to kind of separate them because I don't know if I'm going to use them on the other side. I guess I probably will a little bit, but we'll see. Okay, so now I need another piece of tiger tail. Let me grab that. So I've had several of you ask me what kind of tiger tail I use. I do not spend a lot of money on tiger tail. This, I think, came from Walmart. I don't even know if this came from Walmart. It is Cousin brand. It's silver beading wire, 0.3 millimeter. It doesn't even say what strand, like if it's 49 strand or whatever, but I have never had a problem with tiger tail. I mean, it all seems basically the same to me. This other piece that I was using just a second ago is one that came off of another necklace. And as you can see, it's thicker. Let me pull it down here where you can see. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's slightly thicker, but I don't know. I don't buy like a certain kind or anything. I mean, I just buy whatever's cheapest. So it holds up. It's not like it's going to break or anything. All right, so I am going to put a bead stopper on this end. Now, this side, actually, I don't know that I'm going to do this with, I think I might make links to put over here, because I think that would be really pretty. So I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to take the bead caps and some of these beads here and make some links, but I'm going to incorporate some of the sparkly stuff. So let me do the little rondelle on here, this bead cap, this bead cap, and another little rondelle. I'm just going to make a bunch of links to go on this side. So here's what I've got on here. And I need my pliers. So anyway, I was talking about the whole work thing. Well, I spoke to my boss the other day, and I don't know what's going to happen with them. I hope they're able to reopen. I hope this doesn't kill their business, but I don't really know what's going to happen with that. But anyway, we're not even allowed to go back to work until May 30th, if that still holds up. So, I mean, April 30th. So, I've been just trying to promote the website and stuff, and I started a Patreon account. Am I still recording? Yes. Okay. Sorry. I couldn't see the numbers on there. I was like, oh, did it stop? Okay, so I started a Patreon account, and you know, not everybody wants to do that, I'm sure, but if you're interested in doing that, it would be much appreciated. And you can go to, I'll put the link in the description box below, and no pressure. I'm not trying to make a bunch of money or anything. I'm just trying to stay afloat in case I, you know, am off work for a while. So, which I know that most of America is in the same boat as me, so I'm definitely not, you know, I'm not complaining, but this one I'm going to make a little different. I'm going to do each one a little different. But in order to do the tutorials and stuff, I have to have the supplies for them. So if you're interested in the Patreon, there's $1 tier, $5 tier, I think there's a $5 tier, $15, $30, and I think that's it. So anyway, yeah, so it is kind of scary a little bit being unemployed, because I've never been unemployed. I've always worked. But it'll be okay. I do know that. That's one thing I'm sure of. Okay, so let's see. Let's do a couple seed beads on the bottom of this one. And let's do a copper bead cap. Come on, get on there. The bead cap's not wanting to get on there. And the bead. And the copper bead cap. And a couple seed beads. I'm just trying to bring over what I did in the other row over into this row as far as the seed beads and the little sparkly beads and the metal tones go. So let's roll this back. There we go. So we've got 3 little dangles. Let's do a few more. We need enough to go down that side of the necklace. So let's see, how about, I've got some sparkly silver and stuff. Let's do this with the gold bead. Let's do silver bead cap. Haven't done any silver ones yet. And put the bead on. Okay. They're pretty. They turn out really pretty. These little links do. Okay, I'm just setting them aside. I'm just making them and setting them aside. What can we do on this one? We don't have any with these little pearls on here. I used all of them, I guess, so we'll do one with those. So we'll do the little pearl. How about antique gold? Antique gold again. And the little pearl. Okay, and that's what that one turns out looking like. I'm trying to throw up a tutorial pretty much every day for you guys of something or other. There's that. And I filmed the Patreon tutorial this morning, so I did get that done for those of you that signed up on there. That'll be coming here in the next day or so. I'll get it uploaded. And if you signed up for the $15 a month Patreon level, then you get a free tutorial every month that only you see, and I mean only the people that signed up for that see, and a kit in the mail with free shipping. It's just the $15 a month Patreon thing. There's no shipping. But it's an earring kit of just a small beaded earring. But you'll get the complete kit and the video, the tutorial video, every month. There we go. There's that one. Now, how many do I have here? Let's link them up and see what they're coming out to be. So they're about that long. We need quite a few more. We need several more. So let's keep on making them. Okay. What color? Let's do some silver. Well, I need something on the bottom. Let's do a sparkly rondelle, silver, sky, silver. Yeah, a sparkly rondelle. Okay. So it is so bright and sunny and pretty today. It thunderstormed last night like crazy, and then it rained this morning. And I thought, oh, it's going to be ugly out today, but it's bright and sunny out there. Oops. Right now, I just dropped my pliers. And Sadie, our dog, she will not go out to potty when it's wet. Like if it's raining or if it's even just wet, like it just stopped raining, she refuses. And so she just stood there this morning and looked at me like, you're crazy, I'm not going out there. And she didn't. And so she went all morning without going to the bathroom. And so finally it's gotten sunny, and apparently the grass is dry enough now that her prissy little feet can walk in it. And she went out and did her thing. But I was like, oh my gosh, this dog, she's worse than, she won't even, if it's raining, she just looks at you and looks outside and just lays down like, She's very prissy. Okay. These head pins come bent. I don't know why, but alright, let's see. What do I need? I've got, I could probably do one more of the little pearls. I don't only got one of those. So let's do that. Antique gold. bead, antique gold, and the little pearl. Okay, there we go. Oh, and I meant to tell everybody the big large hole earring tutorial that I did yesterday. I did end up putting kits up for those on my website. So if you're interested in that, there's a kit you can buy for the entire earring. Several people had mentioned that they didn't have the large hole beads, and I know that unless you shop online somewhere, you can't really get out to get anything. So I just made up some little kits to stick up there, so if you guys want to check those out, you can. Those large hole bead earrings turned out really cute, I thought. And there's all different colors in the kits. I just did a variety of different colors. Alright, I'll roll this one back. Okay, now, we may have enough now. Okay, I think we're going to see. So what I'm going to do is I am going to hook these all together with jump rings. And the reason I do that, the reason I use jump rings in between, is because they lay so much better if they have a jump ring in between them than they do if you just hook the links together on their own. I don't know why, but it just helps them flow better. And so I'm going to get some jump rings in the different colors here. I don't know if I have any. Yeah, I do have some antique gold ones. Okay. And I'm just going to hook these all together and use the different metals. I should have used different metals in the head pins, but I didn't think about that. And all I'm going to do is just make sure that I don't hook two of the exact same ones together. See how these are both, well, they're different, but I'm going to try to make sure that I mix them up and put very different ones together. And just make sure that your jump rings are closed. When I get done with this necklace, I'll go back over the whole thing and double check every jump ring, every connection that there is, and make sure that they are closed up really good. I always do that afterwards. So I don't want, I mean, I try to close them up now, but I always try to make sure that I go back and do that later too, just because I would hate for anything to come apart on somebody. Okay. I'm just using teeny tiny, I believe these are 4mm jump rings. But a lot of times when you hook these together, they get like, they don't flow well. They get stuck. I don't even know how to describe that any better, but they do. They just get stuck together and they don't, they want to twist up and get stuck. They don't hang well or something. I don't know how to describe that, so I'm probably just going to stop because that's not making any sense. I hope you guys know what I mean. Go antique gold here. And you don't have to have the exact things that I have to do this. I mean, you can pick out any chandelier findings. You can use like those double strand things that I did on the other strand. Anything you have that's double strand will work. Or make 2 strands of like this. Just string together 2 strands of seed beads or something. I mean, you can use anything. Just use your imagination. I'm just showing you one suggested way, but there's probably 1,000 other ways you can make this thing similar to this. Whoops. Okay, so here's what we have so far. Out of the way. Let's see. We could do the bicone one next. I'm just trying to make sure I don't put the same exact ones together. That's probably the best way to do it. Okay. Use a gold ring. And how about a copper ring? Yeah, I haven't used one of them for a little bit. Okay, now let me measure this up against this other one and just see. Yeah, we definitely need at least one more, maybe both of them. And see how I have 2 bead dangles here? If I only end up using one, I have a little container here that I just put all of my bead dangles in, that like if I have extras. And Heidi gave me this idea, then I can sit and make little little charms or something later. Like I can grab some of these bead dangles and that I've already made up and make little charms or whatever. Okay, so let's lay it together again. Yeah, I'm gonna put the last one on. I think it needs it. And what color? I'm gonna use a bright gold. Little ring for this one. Okay, so here's what we have with this. Okay, so now let me get a couple of these things out of the way because I've got a terrible mess here. And you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing if I have all these beads everywhere. I'm such a messy crafter. Okay, let me just get a couple of these out of the way so we can have some room. So we're going to have to crimp and do some stuff like that. Okay. We may end up using some more of those on the end, I'm not sure, but it'd be better just to get it all out of the way right now. This out of the way, and this out of the way. Okay. Alright, so that's better a little bit. Okay, so here's what we've got. We've got this side coming down over here. And we've got this side coming down over here. And they're going to hook together. This is going to reduce down this branch over here, and they're going to hook together here on this thing. Okay, so what I need to do right here is take this off. I'm going to add just a couple more little beads or one more little bead, because I just felt like it needed one more. So actually a bicone would be good there because I don't have any bicones on this one. So let me add this bicone right here. Okay, and on this side I'm gonna add this little guy right here. Okay. Alright, so what I need to do now is I need to connect both strands to this, and to do that I'm going to use a wire guardian. Where are they? I had them out here. There they are. And the reason I'm going to do that is it just protects the wire and keeps it from fraying over time. So there's a couple of matching ones. And all you do is you take your little wire guardian and you put your tiger tail in it. And if you can, oh, I forgot to put my crimp on. That's helpful. Let me put my crimp on. Yeah, I'm not doing too good here, am I? Okay, so we got to put our crimp on first. Just like this. Okay, now our wire guardian. So if you can see, it's got these two little channels, and it runs across this top little channel right here. And you just want to make sure when you put this on that, let me get it in this crimp. Let me cut the end of this. This end of this tiger tail is frayed a little bit. If it does that, just trim it off so that it goes through your beads a little bit better. Okay, so we're going to go up through this crimp and a couple more of these beads. Just guide it through a few of the beads and then on out. Okay, so then when you pull, it brings it right up here, but you know what? I forgot to I may put that on with a jump ring though. In fact, I think I am going to, so it's okay. So you pull this up tight. Now, you don't want it to be too tight because you want it to have some room for the beads to move just a tad bit. And I like to take this and pinch it together. But what you don't want is for there to be a space between your tiger tail and your wire guard. So pull that tight, but don't pull it so tight that your beads don't have any room to move, okay? They need to be a little, I don't know how to describe that, but they need to have a little bit of flexibility in there, okay? And when you get it just like you want it, then you're just going to crimp your bead down, okay? And then we're going to cut off the excess. And here's what we have. Oh, my other ones came off. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Let me string these back on. I told you if I don't have that little thing on there, they'll fall off for sure. I'm terrible about it. Okay, so there they are back on. Now, are they even? I think I need to add one more bead on this side. Let me do that. Okay, yeah, you want to make sure that they're pretty even. And that looks better. Okay, so we're going to take our crimp bead here, put it on, put your wire guard on. Now, if you weren't going to attach this with a jump ring, you would want to put this on before you close it back, or put it back through your crimp bead, the tiger tail, but I am going to attach it with a jump ring just because I feel like I just feel like they hang better when you do that. Okay, so I'm going through my wire guard and then back through my crimp bead right here. I know this is hard to see, I'm sorry. Back through my crimp bead. It's hard to do, let alone try to show it on camera. Okay, so you get right through there, go through a few of your beads, and then pull. Okay, and there's what we've got. Just like that. And that's pretty perfect. I'm going to pinch it together with my... Okay, it just makes it lay a little bit better so it doesn't look... And then I'm just going to crimp it. Okay, and then I'm going to cut my tiger tail right here. So here's what you've got. They're a little bit flyaway. Now I'm going to attach them with jump rings. Tiny ones. You don't need big ones for this. I mean, you can use big ones if you want, I guess, but I like to use the little ones. And we're just going to put this on here. Attach this side. Okay, there's that. And then the other one. Same thing. That wire guard will keep the tiger tail from getting worn by the beads or by the movement of the necklace. Okay, so there's what we've got. It's cute. Now we're going to attach this. And I'm going to attach this as well. So I'm probably going to need a fairly large jump ring for this. And I think if I can find my oval jump rings, yeah, I'm going to try to use an oval jump ring. So I have one here that's kind of decorative, if I can get it out. There it is. That gold one that's a little decorative. Let me see if it's big enough. So it can go through here. And then I probably will need to attach those with other jump rings. So let me go ahead and close this. I do like the way this looks on here though. Whoa, okay. It's thick. Okay, there we go. So I've got that on there, and then I'm going to take jump rings and attach each of these to that jump ring right there. So I'll probably use a copper for the copper one. I might just use copper on both of them. Okay, so I'm going to take this And we will go ahead and put this guy on here, just like this. And then we'll go ahead and put the other one on as well. I wonder if I ought to attach him. I'm going to attach him right there and see how that does. Actually, it looks like it's, yeah, it'll be okay. I have to make sure that they're going to lay right. I get confused and do that wrong sometimes. Okay, there we have it. So yeah, that looks pretty good. Kind of move all this stuff out of the way. So here's what we've got so far in our necklace. Now I'm going to create a tassel here, and I want this on it, and I want to use several different chains that match the metals that I've got here. So I have an antique gold, I have a red copper, I have a silver, and I even have some KC gold here. And I did have some bright gold. What did I do with the bright gold? Huh, that's odd. Maybe I dropped it. No. That is strange. Okay, I had bright gold out too, so let me pull out another piece. I'll find it later, I'm sure. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I didn't pull it out and I just thought I did. But here's some bright gold. Okay, so I want to put all that together in a tassel here with this flower on it as well. So let me think of how to do this. I need a big ring, a fairly big ring. So let's see here. I have some antique gold ones here that are pretty large. So we need a ring to hang this from. Okay, I think I know how I'm going to do it now. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead, let me go ahead and cut my lengths, how long I want them to be. And I do want this to be fairly long, so, and I think I'm going to cut these all the same length. A lot of times I don't do that, I vary the lengths, but I think on this one, I'm just going to cut them the same. So the way I do that is I just put it on a head pin or an eye pin or whatever you've got, and hold it up and you can cut the lengths even. That's the easiest way I found to do it. Put the copper one on, same thing. And if you get it 1 or 2 lengths off, you can straighten it up after. It's not a big deal. You can trim it up. Okay. And let's see, let's do this little KC gold. It's pretty. I may need to do 2 of it because it's tiny. See if this one will be about the same length. Yeah, it's close. We'll put him on there too. And the bright gold. Okay. Do I want it thicker than that? I think I do. I'm going to do another antique gold. Just like this. Do I have another silver? I do. Let's do another silver. Okay. And I probably should do one more copper. Wish I had a smaller. Let me see if I have a smaller copper colored one. Yeah, I've got some smaller links there. Let me do just a smaller one. I don't want that one to be too overwhelming on there. I've already got the one big, huge. It's big compared to all the others. So let's do this little copper strand. That'll look better. Okay, so that's a better tassel. I like that better. Okay, so I'm going to take my tassel And I'm going to put it on a thinner jump ring because I want to make sure that it fits. And if you have an oval jump ring, again, where did my oval jump rings go? Oval jump rings work really good for this, for tassels. I just had them out here. There they are. Okay. This is how I get very messy. Okay, so if you have a big oval jump ring, I've got this big silver one. Let's see if the links will fit on here. That's the thing. I don't know if they will on some of the smaller ones, but I'll try it and see. Yeah, it may not fit these little tiny. No, let me get a little bit smaller, thinner one. I don't really have any large ones that are thin enough, I don't think. I don't have a lot of oval jump rings, I just have a few. Here's a copper one that looks a little thinner, but it's round. Oh, you know what I do have though? This would be pretty. Here's an oval, sort of. Well, it's actually a square. But it'd be pretty on there, I think, and it's thinner. Let me, if I can get these apart. There we go. Okay, so see how this one's a square, but it's thinner. I think this will go on here. Better. Get on there. Okay, yeah, it does. Alright, so let's put all these on here. That one had issues on the end. That chain was a little messed up. I don't know. But it won't matter for this. And if you're hearing the weird singing in the background, it's Chris. I don't know what he's doing. And this silver one needs to go on the other side. I don't want them both side by side. Okay. So that makes a pretty good tassel. Let's close it up. Actually, do I want to go ahead? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and attach it on here and see how it does on there. Now these, you have to make sure you get them closed really good. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, and this I'm just going to attach right here with a jump ring. I love that little flower. I think it's so cute. So I'm just going to attach him right here with a little decoration, little extra fluff. Okay, there we go. So here's what we have. Well, now, is he going to do that, or is he going to stay where he belongs? Please stay where you belong. Yeah, that's cute. Oh, that's real cute. Okay, let me pick up these crimp beads. And whatever the heck that is, what in the world is that? I don't even know what that thing is. Okay, where it came from. Alright, pick up the crimp beads. Okay, so now we have to finish our ends. And so let me get some of these seed beads out of the way. I'm sorry guys, I'm so messy. I'm just so messy when it comes to making stuff. And what would be really cute to do is if you had a couple more of like these chandelier findings right here. This would be to make an earring with that and this attached on the bottom. That'd be really cute. I'm putting all these teal ones together, matte and shiny. They can just all go together. Okay. Alright, so try to pick up a little bit as I go. If I don't, it's a terrible mess. Get this out of the way. Alright. Okay, so let me clear off some of this junk where it's been cut the chain and stuff. So we can see what's going on. Okay, so here was what we've got. And I think it's turned out really cute. I do like it a whole lot. So let's finish the ends. And this part, I'm just going to pull everything over here so I can make sure that the ends are the same size. Let's get these bead bugs off for now. Okay. Okay, so lay your necklace like you want it to hang. You know, just lay it out like it's going to be when you wear it. And this one is pretty even from end to end. You want your ends to line up pretty even. The only thing I can think is I might take that one seed bead off. And then, yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, so on this side, we are going to come down to one strand with a crimp bead and a clamshell. Here's our clamshell. So I'm going to grab a larger crimp bead that both of my tiger tail pieces will go through. And it doesn't have to be huge. You don't want it to be so big that it doesn't want to stay closed. You know, or just want to stay on there. So take your crimp bead. Or let me trim these up. Let me trim these up a lot, actually. Okay. So take your clamshell, and your clamshell goes on first, and you slide both of your little threads through it. Your little tiger tails through it, okay? And I do need that extra bead on there. You want your things to be even, so let me put that extra bead back, because apparently it needed it. Okay, now let me try and see if it's even. Okay, get in there. There we go. All right. That's better. Yeah, okay. So now our crimp bead goes on next. Okay, just like that. Push these down and go ahead and crimp inside there. Crimp your bead inside there. Is this not a crimp bead? Is this a spacer bead? No, it's a crimp bead. Okay. It was a little hard to crimp there for a minute. I thought, do I have a spacer bead on there? Okay, cut your tiger tail. Don't cut your little loop on your lobster, or your clam, which is almost what I did. Okay, and then you can close it up. If you want to put glue in it, you can. And there you have it. And wiggle it around a little, because it's, yeah, there we go. Okay, now, I'm going to hold this up and decide if it's as long as I want it to be. And it is not nearly as long as I want it to be, so I'm going to add some chain. I was afraid of that, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to cut my copper chain in half. And the best way that I found to do that is to hang it on a head pin or eye pin, find the middle, and just cut the middle link. Well, you hope it will cut, but what is wrong with my cutters? They're not doing it today. I'm so hard on cutters, you guys. I break them regularly. Okay, and then I'm going to take my antique gold chain and do the same thing. I'm going to put these together. And just find the middle and cut that middle link right here. Okay, now I'm going to hook these two together. Probably just by opening the link on the chain. I'm not going to use a jump ring for that. Just like this. Come on. Okay. Close it up. And then when I put this on here, I am going to use a jump ring to attach it. It will be nice and long. Okay, let's put that on there. Okay, there's one side. Now let's do the other. I'm just going to attach the copper to the antique gold by the link on the chain. These thicker links, you really have to get a good hold on them. Okay, I don't think I have it open enough still. There we go. Okay. There it is. I'm going to attach it. Same thing with the jump ring. This is not the way to open jump rings, people. Don't do what I'm doing. You definitely should use your pliers, not your fingers. Okay. And here's what we have. Now I'm going to hold it up and see if it's long enough now. And yes, it is a good length now. And I actually am going to just attach these together in the back and not even have to put a clasp on it. It can go right over your head. It's that long, and that's how I want it. So let me open this link and attach it to this one. And it slips right over your head, and you don't even need a clasp. Okay, so here it is, the finished product. Let me lay it out here so, whoops, flip it over the right way so you guys can see it. And I think they turn out so cute. You know, it's just really long and boho and dangly, and it's got all kinds of metals, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. If you find that your little flower keeps flipping to the back, you can actually hook it to one of the chains, but I think it's going to be okay. So I'm going to pause the camera for a minute and put this on a form, and then you guys can see the whole thing. So hold on. Okay, so here's our finished necklace, and I had to scoot way back to be able to get it into focus, or into the frame. But let me just move up and show you. There's the tassel part, and then you go all the way up, and I think it turned out just beautiful. I really like it. So that is our boho necklace, and thank you for sticking in with me for all this time. I know it's been a long video, but it takes a long time to make something sometimes, and you know, I just wanted to invite you into the bead room to do it and have some fun. So you guys have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!